Anybody catch that show? And there's a guy that used to be a cop that puts on a school for cops that want to be snipers. And he says on national TV, there are people out there that need to be shot. Now this is on the main network. And a guy that was a cop in Albuquerque, formerly, is now working for this guy, teaching people how to do this, killed 5 people in Albuquerque, and they finally said, we can't deal with this guy's got to go, and he left the department. Now these people, they just make a decision to pull the trigger. And there's some type of process that generally they go through to do this. But not this guy. This guy would arrive at a scene. He said there was a guy holding a baby on a bridge, a 2-year-old or 1-year-old, and the roads were blocked on both sides, and this guy was clear across town and hadn't even been called to the scene. Took it upon himself to drive across town with his siren going, run for 90 seconds with a 75-pound pack and a rifle from where he had to park his car to the front of the line, and 90 seconds later shot the guy through the head with absolutely no communication whatsoever with anybody else. Okay? Took it upon himself to make the decision that the people on the other end of the bridge in communication with the guy didn't know what they were doing. This guy needs to be shot. Now they're not all like that. There's lots of people that wouldn't even consider doing something like that. But it's kind of scary to me that there are people that would think of doing something like that. Okay? So, freedom is on the wane in this country. And we have to stand, I believe, in the gap and say, we're not going to do this. And that's what this UCC process that we're going to talk about, how to do and what to do, I think that's the key to coming to the point that we can do that. And so we're going to, in about just a couple more minutes here, we'll take a break for a minute, and somebody ran off with my 9 bottles of water, but I want to get a drink and take a break for just a minute in a couple seconds, and then we're going to start in on how to create this UCC1, how to get it filed, how to do all those things so you get kind of and I know many of you have already done it, and over last night everybody handed me theirs or handed one of the other guys theirs and says, is this right? I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I'm going to tell you how I do it, and you decide. Okay? You decide how you want to do it, because it's your decision. Okay? So we'll take a break for a few minutes, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're gonna work here on the UCC process. Okay? Now, when I first started doing this, I had my source of information came from 2 people, and actually another guy from time to time. And they had, while they were on absolutely the same page as to the thought process and belief system, one had one way of doing it on a computer, and another one had another way of doing it with a pen and one of these. Okay? And so, having never been exposed to anybody that thought like the guy with the pen and the notebook in a thought process, I finally quit talking to the man because I didn't understand a word he said to me. Okay? The man was so intelligent that he talked so far beyond my limited capacity brain to think, because I was educated publicly, that it took me a long time to decipher what he was saying. And I still haven't got it. in some instances. But one of the things that they differed on was the importance of this. And so I took the easy route. And I don't know that that's necessarily wrong or right, but I understand both of them's reasons for doing so. And the first thing that they always told me to do before I do anything else is do a UCC 11 search. Now, what we're doing here, the purpose of this is evidence. We're trying to find evidence of a claim. Okay? We're trying to see if anybody has a claim against that all caps individual. Okay? Now, by doing that UCC 11 search, the Secretary of State is going to certify that someone has a claim or not. That's the purpose of it. Now, I had a fellow yesterday ask me, what if I do a UCC 11 search and somebody has a claim that's on there? Something comes up. Well, that means you're second in line instead of first in line on that issue. Not entirety. There's something specifically named in that UCC 11 that it's referencing a particular UCC 1 that is for a particular, generally a piece of equipment or for a crop. Yes?
Can somebody have that UCC claim on you without your knowledge, or that's something that you would have had to do, right?
Well, right now, in the old law, till July 1st, you have to have the debtor's consent and signature. Unless you go through a process that I'm not even going to get into because it will just get you in trouble. Okay, that's for a much higher level of understanding. Okay? As of July 1st, and I have yet to figure out why they're doing this, but as of July 1st, it's no longer is the debtor's signature going to be required, which is somewhat frightening to me. Okay? And that's why I'm going to reemphasize this. First thing is that this has to be done to see if anybody's come in without your knowledge and placed something there on you. Yes?
Sam, if you're doing a UCC 11 search, would you have to do that in more than one state?
You do it where you live unless you do business in several states.
You can file a UCC 1 in any state.
A UCC 11 in any state.
You can file a UCC 1 in any state.
He said you can file a UCC 1 in any state. That's true and not true. Okay? Right now, the way that we file a UCC 1 is only being taken in a few states. Washington being one of them. Nevada being another. Texas, Minnesota. Georgia, Pennsylvania, Vermont, and I heard this morning Connecticut. Okay? In the particular fashion that we file them. Okay? What does that sound like to you?
Trying to do away with that.
No. It's regional.
Oh, yeah.
Regional. Okay? Now, as of July 1st, I understand, I don't know this for a fact, but I understand that in the new revised Article 9, that all the states are going to file, and all of them are going to use the national form. That's the only thing they'll file is the national form.
So the state forms are going to be done away with?
State forms will be done away with, is my understanding. Okay? Now, in the process of doing this UCC 11 search, when that certificate comes back, then that needs to be put aside, and that's our first piece of evidence about claims. Okay? Then we take and this is very simple. It's done by last names or addresses. Okay? And every name you put on here as a debtor is going to cost you money. So if you want to put that 3 pages of names on there that I've seen before, get out your wallet. And you got to do a separate piece of paper for every one of them. Okay? So what?
A question, as far as you searching, you talked about collateral. I've seen UCC ones where the IRS filed UCC one on person, but didn't name any collateral.
I've never seen a UCC one filed by the IRS.
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah, they filed a UCC one with just the name. They listed no collateral at all. So.
You need to get a copy of that.
Sure.
Okay? All right. What I do when I put a name down there, I do it like this. Every time I refer to a debtor, this is the way I do it.